Commander Zyxdala's chromatophores flickered in patterns of deep concern as the proximity alarm pierced through the bridge of the Covenant research vessel Luminous Inquiry. Her 6 eyes focused independently on the holographic display that materialized before her, showing a stark warning in the universal trade language. Warning. A human warship has entered the sector. The bridge fell silent except for the rhythmic hum of the ship's bioneural processors. Even the normally chattering Kethri navigation officer had stopped his constant stream of calculations, his feathered crest lying flat against his skull in a display of primordial fear. Analysis, Zyxdala commanded, her voice carrying the harmonics that indicated supreme authority among her species. Dr. Veltar, the ship's xenobiologist, manipulated the sensor array with his tentacled appendages. Designation: UES Retribution, Yamato-class dreadnought. Length: 3.7 kilometers. Mass: approximately 47 million tons. Energy signature. He paused, his translator struggling with the magnitude. Energy signature exceeds our measurement capabilities. The Luminous Inquiry was a marvel of Covenant engineering. A kilometer-long vessel housing the finest scientific minds from 7 different species, equipped with sensors that could detect quantum fluctuations across star systems. Yet here was a single human ship that dwarfed their capabilities. "What are they doing in Sector 7 Gamma?" whispered Ensign Kilmora, a young hegemony exchange officer whose crystalline body structure resonated with anxiety. Zyxdala had studied the humans extensively during her career at the Galactic Institute of Xenological Studies. They were a paradox wrapped in contradiction, a species that had achieved faster-than-light travel through brute force engineering rather than the elegant gravitational harmonics employed by civilized races. Their ships were crude, powerful things that ripped holes in spacetime instead of gently persuading it to bend. "They're conducting a weapons test," Dr. Veltar announced, his voice barely above a whisper. "Long-range scans indicate they're deploying something called a stellar compression torpedo." The bridge's lighting dimmed automatically as the ship's AI diverted power to defensive systems. Through the transparent aluminum viewports, they could see the distant star that anchored this system, a stable G-class star around which 3 uninhabited worlds orbited. "They wouldn't," breathed the Kethri navigator. "The stellar cascade would affect 17 inhabited systems." But Zyxdala knew better. Humans didn't think like other species. Where the Covenant sought harmony and the hegemony pursued order, humans embraced chaos as a tool. Their military doctrine was built on overwhelming force and acceptable losses, concepts that most civilized species found incomprehensible. The Retribution began to maneuver, its massive form moving with surprising grace for something so brutally constructed. Point defense lasers tracked across its hull like searching eyes, while launch bays irised open to reveal the dark maws of weapon systems. "Commander," Dr. Veltar's voice cracked, "they're not targeting the star. They're targeting the 4th planet, the gas giant." Zyxdala's chromatophores shifted to patterns of realization. The 4th planet wasn't just any gas giant. It was rich in helium-3 and had been designated as a future fuel depot for Covenant expansion into this sector. The humans weren't testing a weapon. They were making a statement. The torpedo launched, a streak of engineered antimatter wrapped in exotic matter containment fields. When it struck the gas giant, the explosion was visible even from their position 3 astronomical units away. The planet didn't just explode. It collapsed inward, then erupted outward in a chain reaction that would render the entire system uninhabitable for centuries. As the shockwave of charged particles began racing toward them, Zyxdala gave the order to withdraw. The Luminous Inquiry engaged its gravity drive and slipped away into subspace, leaving behind the dying light of what had once been a promising system. In her final log entry, Commander Zyxdala wrote, "The humans have announced their presence in Sector 7 Gamma. All Covenant vessels are advised to avoid the region indefinitely. We are no longer the apex species in this galaxy." The warning would echo through council chambers across 100 worlds, marking the beginning of a new and uncertain era.